The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, friends, and warm welcome in this fantastic webinar, which is on technology aspect, or basically a Excel tool for bank branch audit, which is we are going to do from the last week of April or first week of April, last week of March or first week of April. So very useful, and we are very thankful to our today's speaker, guest speaker, CA Dungar Jain, past chairman SIRC of ICAI, for accepting our invitation at very short notice. Thank you so much, sir, for this accepting our invitation for the benefit of all our members, chartered accountants, and their employees, their colleagues, and entire team. So before we start, I would like to officially introduce sir, as in CA Dungar Jain sir is a commerce graduate and a chartered accountant in practice at Madurai. Sir has also passed higher diploma in software engineering, which is very rare combination in this our field. Sir has did his articleship from Mrs. Kumbhat and Company from Chennai. Sir is a fellow member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and passed DISA examination in 2005. Sir has also successfully completed forensic accounting and fraud detection certification course in 2021. He has also passed intermediate examination of Institute of Cost Accountants of India and has been practice. Sir has been in practice since 2005 and currently managing partner at MSPSDY and associate, having offices at Chennai, Madurai, Kochi, Pondicherry, and Bengaluru. Sir has a great experience, we can say, in serving the members at Regional Council of SIRC of ICAI. Sir was in the year 16 to 19 and 19 to 22 as a RCM, elected RCM. Sir was a secretary at SIRC of ICAI in 17-18, vice chairman in 1920, and chairman in 2021. When we have faced the COVID or first wave of COVID at that time, and SIRC was awarded the best region of ICAI after a gap of 10 years. So entire credit to you, sir, as a chairman, for the wonderful work during your 10 years, sir. Even West people can have attended many sessions because it's a virtual at that time. So thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful tenure and serving the members. First ever virtual regional conference for the region was held during 2020, which is inaugurated by Honorable Minister of Finance, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, ma'am. A world-class eminent faculties address on contemporary topics of professional relevance. Sir was ex officio for Madurai, Sivakasi, and Pondicherry branches of SIRC for 19 to 22. From 16 to 19, Madurai, Sivakasi, and Trichy branches of SIRC of ICAI. Sir is the lead committee as in chairman of the following committee of SIRC, which is Public Relations Committee, Editorial Board, Information Technology and Digital Transformation for multiple years, because sir is an interest in the technology and IT related aspect. Sir also held a committee as a member in industry in 18, 19, 19, 20, and also a committee for continuing professional education for the year 16, 17. Sir was nominated as a Technology Initiative Committee of Bombay Chartered Accountant Society, Mumbai, for the multiple years 18, 19, 19, 20, 2021, and 2022 as well. Regional Direct Tax Advisory Committee, Information Technology Committee, and Association of Chartered Accountants Chennai for the year 14-15. Sir has served Madurai branch of SIRC as a member of Branch Coordination Committee, SICASA Chairman, which is Student Association, Vice Chairman, Secretary, and 15-16 as a Chairman of Madurai branch of SIRC. Sir has a great merit record as well. School topper in accountancy in higher secondary examination, college topper in business correspondence, accountancy, corporate accounting, and programming in COBOL, which is again a technology aspect. Awarded second prize for the best presentation in the general management and communication skill conducted by ICAI. Sir is a very, we can say, a social person and member at various association and professional body, Bombay Chartered Accountant Society, Association of Chartered Accountants Chennai, Chartered Accountant Study Circle Chennai, and All India Federation of Tax Practitioners Mumbai. Sir is a great area of expertise and specialization. Being tech savvy, sir has been instrumental in preparing a few in-house software as well. And today we will see some of the Excel tool as well. Also had prepared a template on TN VAT audit in Excel when VAT audit was moved and which is benefiting very beneficial for a CS. There is a keen interest in the study of capital market and is specialized in derivative, F&O transaction, and taxation of debt, and have been given a guest lecture and presented papers at various institutions and professional forums. Had been a visiting faculty at Madurai College, Fatima College, Madurai, covering session on stock market and derivatives. Special invite on multiple forums on Board of Studies, Commerce Department at Chigavaraj College, Madurai. Invite faculty development for Commerce Department, Lady Doc College, Madurai. Regular contributor to monthly newsletter of Chartered Accountant Study Circle Bulletin on Excel tips and few other ICAI branches newsletters. Sir has presented papers on digital assurance, information technology with reference to DSC, e-filing, and use of Excel in various forums at CP meetings. There is an active participation of Jan Seva, an organization helping those in need. And Sir has also authored a book on Excel tips covering use of MS Excel for professional and professional students. So with this brief introduction, we welcome you, sir, and thank you so much once again for being there on our Connectivity platform, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, you can share screen as well, sir, as and when required.
Yeah.
As per your
Thank you, Virag. In fact, I'm only reminded of a quote which is still one of my favorite quotes of Lenin, who said that in decades nothing happened, and in weeks decade happened. Probably last 2-3 years of transformation, what we have seen, would have actually taken 10 years or 20 years, but things happen very fast. Today, we are able to do a lot of things with technology, using technology, and today, rightfully, the bank audit where we used to do half things manual and half technology, today almost I will say 80-90% of things have actually come using technology. Though human intervention is required, but it is the technology which is being the most used. So before we get into it, I'm just sharing my screen. Can somebody confirm if the screen is visible?
Not yet, sir.
I have shared one link in the chat box. I'll share it again. I want everybody to go to that link and download the files which are there in the folder number 10. 10 working files, connect easy with today's date actually. It's a Google Drive link I've shared. In fact,
yes,
before even it has come.
Yes, sir. Screen has come, sir. We can see that, and link is also received by all.
Okay, and I have given just not the materials for today's session, but it contains the guidance note on bank audit, the master circulars, the master directions, and some of the contents from e-books and ICAI journal. Last 2 years, which will be all relevant to the bank audit, and one practical reference for the statutory audit. And I've included other speakers' materials also, which will help you to carry the bank audit smoothly. So my request is that I've given all things at one go at one place. Now the difficult job is for you to now download this and make good use of it in the next 5-6 days, so that when you go to the branch, you're able to do the audit effectively, which matters the most. So in that, this 10 working files, all the files I would request you to download. The first and important being this first file, a control sheet actually. Virag did mention in my profile that I've been using small tools for in-house. So this actually is one of the in-house tool which we were using in our bank audit. It has been built over a period of 6-7 years, and we found that it acts as a audit documentation, and also we know what we have to do and what has to be done actually. So this will come very handy. So I request all of you to download if you are able to parallelly work, nothing like that, and feel free to put any questions you have in between. So open the Excel file. I will also get into small nitty-gritties which will help your productivity in Excel. Now, this particular Excel sheet starts somewhere in middle of one sheet. Can somebody confirm in the chat box? Very difficult to handle a workshop in online, but still, since the distance has to be met, we are going ahead. Can somebody confirm that you're able to see the attendance certificate on the screen?
Sir, they are posting in the question tab, so you can check in the question tab.
Okay. Accessible, somebody says. Okay, fine. So now the first, I will be asking some questions. Please feel free to answer it. How to go to the first sheet of this Excel actually? Can somebody tell me if I need to? Okay, somebody says send the link again. I will right away send that. I've sent the link again. Can somebody tell me that I'm in middle of some sheet? How to go to the first sheet of this particular Excel file? Or you haven't even tried, you can write that also, no issue. The idea is for me to see that you are all with me. Somebody says control home. Control home will take you to the top of that sheet actually. Now this particular Excel file has got some 20-25 sheets. Just by clicking the first page. No, you don't know. Now you are in middle of some sheet. You don't know how many sheets are in the before the sheets, and you know how many sheets are behind. Control page up. Yes, that is you can type control page, which will take you to pages one by one. Sir, the link is not opening. It will work. If it is not working, you copy that and put it in the browser. It will work. Accessing the link through mobile but unable to. Can you send the link on email or WhatsApp? Okay. Virag, you can send that link in the WhatsApp groups, whatever you are, it is there.
Yes.
Yeah, probably for whom the link is not working, you please copy that link and then paste it in the browser, it will work properly. And mobile phones, it will be difficult. Later you can download it in the system, because even if you download these links at these files in your mobile, you won't be able to operate Excel actually. Somebody says control shift page up. Control shift page up. Let me work that. No, control shift page up will not take you to the first sheet actually. Which file to access? There is one 01 bank audit control sheet file. Those who are working on the system, you open this 01 bank audit control sheet. It will be available in the folder 10, serial number 10, working files, connect easy with today's date. Those who are unable to download, again I'm telling, copy that link and then paste it in your browser. You will be definitely able to download it. I will see if I can even put it here in my. Okay, few people who are not able to download, I think you are all through. So now there's one option in Excel. If you come to this bottom bar, there are two arrow buttons. You just right click. You will see that all the sheet names come here actually. Hereby you can go to the sheet whichever you want. Many a time when you use control page down, or you use the tabs, it takes a lot of time for you to move and you waste time. So what I can do is I can just click whichever I want, and then it will take me to that particular sheet. Now we'll go to this preliminary sheet prelim which I've given. However, I want to touch upon few things before we dive into the subject per se. Please share the link once again to download the files. Okay. I did that again. In the chat box, you can see asking to buy space. That must be the trouble with your Gmail account. And you don't need a Gmail account. You come out of all your Gmail account and click the link. You'll be able to download it. See, those who are not able to download, I will request you can type these things straight away. Give me a moment, I'll put it on the screen. If you feel the link is not working, you type in your browser directly, you will be able to download it. So many says there is no issue in opening the link in PC. See, if it is not appearing as a link, copy it and then paste it in your browser. It will work. So you got to learn the technology fully. Half technology learning is dangerous actually. Fine, I'll proceed. So first, when we go for the bank audit, the immediate things what we look for is the resources or the data. And generally that is given to us in a text file with TXT format or RPT format. Now, if you get the files in Excel, you should be happy about it or you should be worried about it actually. I need few answers so that I know that you are all with me. If you are going to get an Excel file from the bank by the manager he gives you, happy. Actually, you should not be happy, you should be a little bit worried because the moment it is in Excel, we don't know the authenticity of it. There are very many chances that the file may be, I won't say definitely manipulated, but maybe the manager has worked on something and then he has saved it and given it to you. So it is always advisable that you take the text file and then work on it. And when I say text file, not necessarily you take from the manager, you try to download yourself. So between downloaded files and download files, you please download it yourself so that you are very sure of the report or the file which is coming. Thank you, sir. Got the access to the documents. Okay, fine. So this you have to take care. And if at all you feel that you are not able to get access to the file yourself, ensure that you get that file through the email from the manager. Though you have to take care of all the precautions by doing the cross checks whether the totals are tallying with the GL and the balance sheet, but ensure that if at all you are not able to get access to those files by yourself through your login, which you will as an auditor will get a view login access, ensure that the manager sends you the file by email to you. And having said that, the third thing is documentation. Many a time we have seen we do the audit very nicely, but the challenge is we don't document things. So probably this sheet which I have shared is actually, it will solve two purposes. It will help you to have a kind of audit program as well as document things. So it is only a small illustrative thing which I have given. This is not final. You feel free to add as many sheets as you want, or within the sheets as many rows or columns depending on your own need. This is given a small indication for you to tell that these are the areas you have to see so that you don't miss out. And you can always tell your staff or articles to see that they don't miss out on these things. Still a few people are joining or asking for link. I'm sending it in the chat box. And next very important thing, use good time in training or planning. Many a time we see that more time we spend in execution and very less time in planning. Please don't do that. We should learn from Japanese culture where they spend 50 to 60% of time in planning and only 40% in execution. If you have all your things ready before you go, you'll be able to do things with more faster speed and also accurately. Please do that and don't miss out on that. And very importantly, today's session My objective is to strengthen your concepts. Whatever few of the techniques I teach, it does not apply to only that particular area which I'm covering, but it can be used in a lot of other areas. So which you can use it for your, or it's just not limited to bank audit, but other audits as well. And in fact, all the LFAR points which are given, including advances, you can actually use technology, by playing with the data and get the results. I will be covering few in my session today. And for the audit, when you are picking samples, pick the top 5 or 10 samples. In fact, it is not current year losses. I have to change this to current year samples. These are the hazards when you work late night, you miss out on things actually. So you ensure that you pick the top 5 or 10 samples as well as the current year samples for you to arrive at an opinion. In fact, this year LFAR, there is a requirement for us to tell what are the accounts examined by us. You cannot simply get away by telling that, I did this, I did that, or I don't know what I did. It is not possible. You will have to document it in the LFAR itself this time. And very importantly, there may be many times not problem with Excel, but actually with system settings that may come as a hindrance to your working. Ensure that those settings are properly taken care before you start the audit. And very importantly, you work on the laptop which you are used to. I remember during our younger days where we were writing exams, we were being asked to use the same pen so that our flow does not get affected. So likewise, if you are going to use a laptop for the audit, please use the one which you are comfortable, because every laptop has got a different layout and there will be a lot of trouble if you are going to use the new laptop. And the 10th important thing, when I'm good at going to teach certain things in Excel, there is no one single way to get things done. There are multiple ways. You can do it this way, you can do it that way. It all matters till you get the result. So I may be telling you 2 techniques and there may be one which and that may be the best technique. So you can do that. Or no sir, I'm not comfortable with the way what you have said. I know another way of doing it. You can actually do that. And then very importantly, this does not just limit to the bank audit, but ensure that your data are properly backed up either in OneDrive or Google Drive or in a place so that you're able to retrieve it faster. Traditional things are gone where you store in your laptop or your pen drives. It is required that you are able to have the access of the information wherever required. Try to see that it is kept in OneDrive and Google Drive so that the retrieval becomes easy and anybody can access that if you give the sharing appropriately. So ensure that those data are also kind of kept on cloud. And about confidentiality, they are confidential. You have to take care of the precautions to see that it does not get exposed to outside. That's the only precaution we need to take. And the last one, I remember when the computers came, they said life is going to be easier. But friends, life has become a little tougher. And when I say tougher in its own way, because we are forced to do a lot of things. Sir, auto save kijiye Excel. Okay, somebody is replying to the question. Okay. And then today we are forced to do a lot of things. What we used to do in a very, very limited way. Today with computers and technology, we are actually forced to do a lot of things. And what we were given very, very generalized comment, today we are able to give a very, very accurate comments and pinpoint things. I still recall a thing not related to exactly bank audit. For the 40A3 payments, we used to write telling that, we always used to give a disclaimer. But today it is very much possible for us to verify and tell that, these are the areas where there has been deviation and there has been no deviation. Okay, 7 points, somebody wants a repetition. What I'm trying to tell is all the points in LFAR, whatever is being there, you can actually use technology to arrive at audit documentation as well as give a reply to. You don't have to give general comments. For everything, you can do it using technology in Excel. Probably I'll be covering 7 or 8 areas where you can use technology to arrive at the conclusion for the LFAR points. I think that clarifies the doubt raised by one of the participants. So we'll start by one sheet that you can write up the name of the bank and the branch. Probably that will get copied in the appropriate places. In case I have missed, you can give the link there so that you don't have to fill all the sheets at one go. And then before we proceed, we can write the requirements that what all maybe we will require from the bank. I'd say balance sheet, comma P&L and schedules. And then the other certificates, generated from system. Most of the reports today are generated from the system. They don't do it manually. So likewise, this will be a small tracker for you to tell that what are the things which I will require during the audit as well as before the audit. And then I've given a separate sheet for certificates tracker. I've listed 4 or 5. You can keep on adding depending on the bank, because every bank has got a different certifications which they require, and whatever list comes to you through the annual closing circular, please note down. Here I want you to note down all the certificates which as an auditor you will sign. And for every signature you make, you should ensure that you are having proper working papers for that. Tomorrow, if there is anybody who is going to ask, say the bank or the RBI or the institute or for the peer review, the peer reviewer may ask, sir, you have signed this certificate, can you please tell what was the basis on which you placed your reliance? So ensure that you have the working papers with you properly done. This kind of this checklist will help you to tell how many certificates you have given and what is the backing of the documents with which you have given the certificate. And all chartered accountants are required to maintain the KYC. So for the bank, you can maintain all the details of the bank at one go. I will call it as permanent information, where the branch code, the address of the branch, contact number of the branch, email of the branch, all are available, so that tomorrow when you want to communicate, it's very easy. Many times we have seen we don't get the email IDs. Some other person would have sent an email where we want to communicate officially to the bank, we might have missed. And my suggestion at this point will be that please send email on daily basis of things what is pending from the bank, telling that I've asked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Apart from telling it orally, in the day end, please have a culture or habit of sending an email telling that, sir, we require the following as per our discussions today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will help the branch also to know that these are the documents expected, and they'll be tracking that these are the documents you have asked and you have not got it. Many times we have seen that when things get delayed, the blame game starts, that no, the auditor didn't do things, or you will tell no, we asked, you didn't give. They will say no, we gave it, but you didn't see things. So to avoid all those things, ensure that you send a daily mail of the things which you are expecting from the bank or the branch personnel. So here you can fill, and I did a small conditional formatting where you type something, the yellow will become green, which means it's a small idea for you to tell you that the information has been filled. I'll just do a small print preview and show it to you. Okay, when you do a print preview, you can see those shades, yellow and green shades. What will happen if I give a print just like that? Of course, my advice will be not to take any printouts, to the possible extent go paperless, but there may be occasion where we require some printouts. Now, suppose I was to take printout of this sheet on a laser printer. If I give a print like this, will this come clean, or there will be some issues with the print which I take? Can I get some reverts? I'll repeat the question. The screen which I'm showing you is under print preview. If I directly give a print like this, will the report be good to go? It will not come clean. Perfect. So what will happen is you will have all those shades, and if there is text written over it, you will not be able to get it. Now, what is the way out for that? Green color lines will be dark and yellow will be little lesser dark. Perfect. Unreadable, dark background will come. So what is the outcome? I mean, how do I take printout of those things? Don't tell me, sir, go to the sheet and remove all those. Okay, somebody says, no, they said black and white print will not be easy to read. Gray tone, unable to type in the chat box. Now you type in the question box. I think that is where you are given access to. In case of opting black and white, it will be printed like it's highlighted in black, perfect. There is option to print in black and white. Somebody has given the answer. Kamlesh Jain, yes. Somebody says save as PDF. No, save as PDF, the colors will come as it is. It won't be of any help. Print in grayscale, same thing. So what you can do is different font. No, you don't have to do that. So one crude way would be to remove all those conditional formatting shades. But then I want those shades for later, but I don't want that for print. So how I can overcome that? You can see this page setup button on the bottom on the print preview screen. I click that, it opens me a dialog box. In that, there is a tab known as sheet. Somebody is not able to open Excel file. I think you have to use the system because it is macro enabled, it might not work in your mobile. Okay, in that page setup, one second, I just minimize this screen. Under the sheet tab, you can see one checkbox, black and white. So the moment I click this and say OK, you can see my shades are actually gone only for print purposes. My shades in the Excel sheet will remain as it is, but only for the print purposes it is gone. If somebody says I'm on laptop and you're not able to open the Excel file, can you just tell the error what is coming? Or you would not have downloaded it. First download the file and then try to open it. If you try to open it from the Google Drive, it will open in Google Sheets or it might not open. Fine, few people have given the answer that you can use the print black and white. So we'll go ahead with the next thing. I've created a small template where it will help you to create how many people have visited the branch, how many mandates have gone. So I will say partner CA Virag Shah, CA Ramesh, say they are partners. And the staff names, say Suresh. So here you can mark a small attendance as to by just giving yes that when they have come. Now there is one sheet where I've automatically given a formula where you'll get the result that how many mandates have been spent. You can give Control A, double click so that this expands. And now you will see that the first partner has spent 3 days, second partner has spent 1 day, third partner has spent 1 day. Okay, the third partner has not come. I will go to partner 3 and remove this. You will see that that will go. So this will give me the total summary of the total mandates which are spent for the audit. In fact, one of the bank, they did make it as a mandatory requirement, but I found it very useful. So we now have started following this for all the audits actually. And somebody who's interested in exploring the formula, it is open. I have not put any password, so they can explore and see what I have given. It's a multiple nested ifs which I have given to get the result. There may be some other way because this function I had used before 4 or 5 years, which we are continuing to use actually. So this is a small value addition for you to tell how many mandates have been spent for that particular branch. And few banks do insist that you have to get the certificate from the manager about the mandates that has been taken in the audit actually. And then the next one sheet I have given on the other audits applicable for the branch. Sir, I'm unable to edit the Excel sheet for practice purposes. In the top, if you see, there may be a enable macro or enable content option. Sometimes both may also come. You please enable that actually. Somebody says kindly repeat it. Ankit Singhal. Which one you want to repeat, Ankit? The black and white print or the attendance part? Somebody is asking where is the Excel file. I think they have joined late. I'll put in the chat box again the link. You can download from the link or copy that URL in the browser and download it. Okay, till whether entries in the sheets may done by all shareable or only it is accessible in one system. The choice is yours, sir. To make it shareable, you have to enable that in Excel. But otherwise, it is, it is possible for us to see that everybody access at the same time also. It is possible. I tried that. No, you can download the file. It does not require owner's permission. First, you see, I think if you are trying to access that file by double clicking in the Google Drive, it will not work. Please download that file. On that Excel file, right click, there is an option known as download. Please download the file. See, nested if I'm not covering today because the objective is only for the bank audit. Probably in one of the examples where you will use two ifs, I will cover. But today I'm not covering not nested ifs. But nested if is nothing but you are giving multiple ifs within one condition actually. Telling that if this is the condition, what is the outcome? Then if the outcome is not there, what is the other if condition? So maybe there are 3 if conditions I can put and get the result actually. No audio, sir. Must be for you only, Nikunj. Somebody can confirm whether the audio is fine or not. Oh, okay, fine. It's fine. Fine. So now we'll go into this sheet other audits where I have captured if the branch is subject to concurrent audit. And you can give the details that audit done by which firm, name of the firm, the status of compliance, or if there is any revenue leakage. And I've tentatively given some small. Okay, somebody missed the black and white. I'll come in the end actually. Okay. Here you can give the details of the major comments which will help you to see that which are the areas you will have to look into the audit properly, and this will also give an indication that you actually peruse those reports, you have gone through the reports, that this will act as a documentation. A link goes in Google Drive with 10 files. Yes, download that file number 10, working files, connect easy with today's date. That folder you download fully. On that folder you can right click and download. That will download it as one zip file which you can unzip it. So here you can I have just given the last 3 concurrent audit reports for to peruse. I don't think so we have to go beyond that, because even if there is an history, all those things will get covered in the last 3 months report, and I'm assuming that March report generally is prepared a little late, so it might not be available for you. Same thing if the branch is subject to RBI audit, capture the basic information and also capture the comments so that it will help you to prepare your audit program. If there has been inspection being done, you can capture that information also. Similar way, very important, yes, preceding year statutory audit. Do not miss that report, because the LFAR or other points may throw you a lot of things which you can capture it here, and also see that it will help you to look into deep which areas which these previous auditors have also pointed. Same thing if the branch is subject to IS audit, revenue audit or stock audit, that also has to be taken care. And one quick thing, I'll jump back on these requirements which I missed, is the communication to the previous auditor. There's one school of thought that it is the RBI, through RBI which my appointment happens, so why I should report it, give a communication to the previous auditor. Friends, let me tell you, whichever body appoints, it is a matter of professional courtesy, and our institute wants that a communication should and must go to the previous auditor. And how it should go? It should compulsorily go only through the registered post with AD. Only one good thing which has happened in the last 2 years is, due to COVID, they have relaxed that. They have said you can seek your objections, if any, through email also. But only catch is, if you are sending a request through email, ensure that the reply is given back. You are getting back the reply, or that email is reverted back. If you don't, yes, mail is there. Somebody is asking me that question. Institute has come up with an announcement that you can get the NOC through email, but your one-side email will not work. If you have just sent a mail and told that no sir, I have sent the mail, my job is over. No, you will have to get the reply from the previous auditor. If the person is not replying, the safest thing will be to send a registered post with the AD. Sir, should I stop my work till I get that? No, you don't have to do that, but you will not do anything which will create later trouble for you. So ensure that it is done. One small example I'll give you in one of the banks what happened. Actually, their bills were not settled. There was some communication gap between the bank and the auditor, and the bills were not settled for want of vouchers. And what happened was they actually didn't go to any hotel, but they had some fruits and other things for which they raised some nominal amount, which one of the officers got very strict about it and he didn't do it. So thanks to this previous communication, communication to the previous auditor, which actually helped them to resolve this, and later the NOC was given by the auditor actually. Somebody says, what is AD? I don't know in what context the AD is being asked. Give me a moment, I'm just reading a question. Okay, some fraud which you have come across through a newspaper, and then neither the concurrent auditor has reported. What is your duty? You will have to definitely probe. We don't have to tell that, so concurrent audit didn't report, so my job is also okay. With AD's acknowledgement, I meant AD's short form of acknowledgement, registered post with acknowledgement due, to be very precise actually. I think many of them have clarified that. Okay, so other audits, you can do a small, this will contain a summary of the audits which the branch is subject to. And when you do this, if the person says, no, sir, we are not subject to this audit, that audit, ensure that the management representation captures that also. In fact, in this sheet, I've given one MR in the last actually. So you can note down this. The branch is subject to the following audits only. To go to the next line in the same cell, you can use Alt Enter. Many of you will be knowing it, but for benefit of everybody, I will tell. You give Alt Enter, you'll be able to get the different line in the same cell. So I will say concurrent audit and inspection. So tomorrow, what happens if the manager does not tell you of one of the audits? You are safe. You can tell, sir, I relied on the reports what you had given. If you are not given any reports, how I can kind of proceed with it. So we go back to the other audit sheet. Okay. So next is physical cash, which we generally do, and we record it manually. I will suggest you can now use the system where you can tell who was done by whom, reviewed by which partner, what are the observations, what was the date and time we verified, whether it was start of the day or end of the day. And here, if you write denominations, you will get the values actually. Nothing but basic function, this formulas we have given, which will give the result. The coins, the mutilated notes, the fake notes, if any, and few branches may be having the ATM also connected with them. In that case, you can note down this information also here, and also that who are the dual custodians of that cash. And a few branches have the habit of getting late cash, which actually gets recorded on the next day. So your cash may be physically more, but in the books it may be less. So for that also you can note down, and then generally that will be backed by the amount in the cash register. The record will be done in the cash register. And very importantly, there is one more point in LFR which we have to report, that whether surprise verification was done, which we generally say yes, it is done, but we will never have the record. So note down which days it has been done and the designation who has done that. So this is also tomorrow for you to tell when there is an inquiry that what are on what basis you did the audit. You will actually be having records to tell that these are the things which we verified. A question may come, sir, should we take photocopies of all the records? No, you don't have to do that. If you're able to record some information, that is enough. You don't have to take photocopy of everything, but where you feel that this is information which might be required for me to place my evidence, you feel free to take that as well. So same thing like physical cash verification, you can do it for your ATM, you can do it for your jewel loan. In fact, I have prepared it the way we have foreseen. You feel free to change it. The only thing is, whenever you are counting jewel loans, the physical packs won't match with the GL. So there will be some genuine reasons for it, which you please verify and see that the reconciliation is properly done. There may be cases where the accounts have got closed, but the packs are lying. Ensure that it is backed by proper entries in the safe custody register or some other register which the bank maintains. And you can take some sample packets, verify the weight, that whether the weight is matching with what is being noted, and certain things you can verify the quantity as well. That there are 3 gold articles. Open the pack before the appraiser and the manager and check that there are 3 packs or not. You can make note of this actually. So ensure that all things what you do gets properly recorded, so that tomorrow it is easy for you to prove that this is what you did. In fact, few banks do have a policy that they have to call for an external appraiser also during this verification. If the banks has this policy, do it. Otherwise, you can ignore it. But yes, if the jewel loans are more, you can actually plan this before some days and tell that let the external appraiser come from the nearby branch, so that he can also verify whether things are right or not. And then any other items found in the vault. So if there are any other items, you can make a note of that also. If there are not alarming, just note down and leave it. But if there is any issue, you can bring it to LFR also. Same thing with stationery. You will have your DDs, pay orders, FD receipts, checkbooks, ATM cards. You make note of that information. And very importantly, the holding of the returned ATM cards and ATM pins should not be held by the same person. So you make note of those small internal controls that they have not missed. Generally, it gets taken care automatically, but when you do the verification and see that that is actually not getting missed. And then who are the dual custodians of those stationery? If there are any missing stationery, what are those and whether they have been reported to head office? Tokens, of course, today it is all electronic, but the bank may hold tokens. If there are missing tokens, you can make note of that. And very importantly, all those things should get reported to head office. If it is not reported, then there is a serious issue. And then your postal stamps, revenue stamps and stamp papers, which you see also should be noted, and ensure that this actually tallies with the GL, because this forms part of your balance sheet. There may be some reconciliation because few would have got issued by from the 31st March to the date you are doing the audit actually. So all these small things, ensure that you do and verify at the first go, so that you don't have to get into the reconciliation things actually. And then few verification which you do on the locker, that who was the person who holds the master key and who are the other custodians who hold the keys. You can write the name and the designation, and you can give the details of the vacant lockers when you verified. 1 or 2 lockers you can verify also randomly to see that there is nothing kept in the locker. Can you please show the MR sheet for once, sir? Right click on the top, click MR, say OK. With the sheet, somebody wants me to put the MR sheet. And whenever you come with something, the manager says that, sir, this is how it is, please make note of it in short, so that tomorrow in the end, when you do the audit finalization, you would have forgotten most of the things actually. So this will come very handy for you to prepare the management representation. Okay, now there is one point in LFR where we have been asked to tell that how many days, whether the bank has generally complied with the retention limit, and how much days it has exceeded, and the insurance point related to that. Now I remember during those days we used to give a very generic comment telling the bank has generally complied or has not generally complied. Now we ourselves don't know whether to say generally complied or not generally complied, where few days it is, I mean, 50% of the days it is complied and 50% of the days it is not complied. So what we can do is we can use technology in these kind of things for us to arrive at our conclusion and also report it very, very accurately. Now, if you see this particular sheet, this is a sheet which contains answers also. We have assumed in this sheet that there are two limits, and then we have did the analysis of putting the retention with the formula and then giving the result that whether it is within limits or not, calculating the month and giving a small summary. We have also gone to the extent of calculating this summary month wise. This is not required. The whole idea is to tell that sometimes when you need to call out information, how you can do that. This is by using the counting function, which we will be covering it. So what we will do is, we have I put one sheet retention practice. We will try to do this working here. In the sheets which I have given, there is one cash balance 2018-19. I will copy this data, Control C, and see if I am able to get it properly, Control V. I am lucky because the details have come at one go. So I'll remove the ones which are not required, the columns. Headings, I'll remove the ones which I don't want. Friends, if you have anything, please feel free to put in the question box. I'll be little bit slow on some occasions. On certain occasions, I'll be little fast. Now I need to, from the top, select to the end of this particular data. One way is which I did manually. Is there any way out where I don't have to do that manually? Can somebody tell me? Control Shift down arrow. Okay, let me try. Control Shift down arrow. What happens is it only takes till 10/11/2018, not the end of the data, because there are some spaces in between. So Control Shift down arrow, yes, it's a correct answer, but in this scenario it will not work because there are some breaks. Somebody says yes, you can do it, because then only you'll be able to tell if there are any errors. I don't mind. I'm only covering concepts today, so if you can do parallelly with me, nothing like that. Use filters. Okay, now for you to use filters, I have to select the data manually. Yes, that is, somebody got it. Control Shift End. So that is the option for me to get the all data at one go. I'll go to the top first. Control Shift End. Sorry. I don't know why it is not working. Yes. When I gave Control Shift End, it has selected entire range. And now what I can do is, now I can add filter. We can also use blank column to navigate from top to bottom. So you'll get stuck. I'm not getting you, Amit, what you're trying to tell. The cash balance report has only day end balance. For each day, there will be many. We are not bothered. We are only bothered about the day end transaction, that how much cash was held during the day end. That's all. Because if they have got more cash and they are able to, give it to currency chest or properly dispose of, we don't have any problem actually. Okay, then Alt D. Actually, it is Alt D FF for me to apply filter. Alt D FF. Or I can use the filter manually from the ribbon also. Now I'll remove the columns which are not required. And here what I will do, I will select and say oldest to newest, so that all my dates will get, and the other items will come in the end, which I can straight away delete it. Yes, you can use shortcuts to be honest with you, certain shortcuts I'm still not comfortable, because certain things which you are used to, you don't come out of it. But the advice or request to everybody will be, please, wherever possible, use shortcuts. Don't try to use the mouse. This will help you to do things at a more faster pace actually. Could you please repeat this? Okay, I will do Control Z. Control Z is to undo the action. See, this is the data which I've got. You copy it by taking it from the text file which I have sent. Somebody says use sort. You can sort or you can use filter and also do it. I will select these two sheets and say Shift Control End. I don't know, sometimes it doesn't work the first time, it works afterwards. Yes. Now I will say filter, data, filter, and on the top I would have got the filter actually. I will remove the unnecessary columns. See, somebody is asking which report to be downloaded. I do not know the exact report, but you are actually able to get it from most of the banks. So now what I can do is, one, I can remove the unnecessary things. I mean, select the unnecessary things and delete it right away here by selecting the entire row, right click, say delete row. This is one way of doing it instead of sorting. Now if I remove the filter, you will see my data is come intact. So the choice is yours. I can sort the data first and then remove the ones which I don't want, or using the filter I can directly remove the rows which I don't want, so that I get the data intact. Now if you have observed here, all this amount is in minus. How to convert this into plus? Somebody will have to tell me how to. In fact, there are multiple ways of doing it. Convert the text file to workable Excel sheet. I'll be covering it. One raw data is there, but this particular cash balances, you just copy the notepad content in the notepad, copy it, paste it in Excel, it will automatically come properly. Okay, somebody says multiply with 1, which is the right answer. Somebody says use the function, that sheet says ABS, perfect. And somebody says Control F. Control F is find and replace. All the three are right actually. So there are three ways of doing it. And somebody says we can limit the data. They are also right. Now we have got 4 answers for one problem. I'll just note down for everybody's benefit. Somebody says ABS. Somebody said multiply by -1. What was the third option? Somebody says use Control F. The fourth option was delimit. Perfect. Fine. So we'll try all the 4 quickly so that you will get to know. First thing, I will use the ABS function, equal to ABS open bracket, select the data, close the bracket. I've got the whole figure in plus by using ABS. Okay. What is the other way? Is multiply by 1 equal to my main data into -1. Yes, I've got the data, same data again by the, that is multiply by -1. The third is delimit. I'll copy it separately. I can select the row and then go to text to columns, and then the delimit. I will tell that wherever there is hyphen, you break the data and say next and finish. You will see that minus has come separately and my data is also come separately. So that is one way of doing it. Another way is, I'll give Control Z. Select the entire column, Control F, find hyphen, replace nothing. I don't have to do anything. I will say replace all. I've got all the 360 replacements done. Could you please again show the delimit option? Okay. So now you can see that the minus is there. I select the first entire H column. After selecting, under the data tab, there is an option on its text to columns. Click that. There are two options. You don't have to change it. Generally, default is delimited. Say next. It will tell you what are the delimiters where you have to divide the data. In that other, you click the checkbox and type hyphen or minus. Both are same. Then say next and finish. You will see that the minus is gone actually. So in Muthu Karpanji, you can confirm whether you have got it also. So multiple ways where you can get whichever you are comfortable, do it. But you must know that certain times only one of the limited options will work. So you can know when to use which one actually. So I'll remove all the unnecessary ones now, or probably hide it. Control F is the simplest thing for me to replace because my data changing will not have any impact. So this I've did. Now I'll insert one row and tell that retention limit. So we'll fix 20 lakhs as the retention limit. In the home tab, if I click this comma under this number, I will get the commas. So I don't have to manually do it or go to format cells and do it. I can do using the ribbon also. So now somebody will have to help me with the formula. The screen is visible, right? I think you'll be able to zoom it. No trouble in online. Equal to if open bracket. What is more than what? Which means it is exceeding the limit or within the limits. I'm waiting for somebody to give me the first answer. Equal to if open bracket. That is, this is my cash. This cash is more than the retention limit. Okay, I am getting answers. The moment my retaining cash exceeds that, I don't have to give equal to, because the moment it crosses that, there is trouble. The moment it exceeds, what happens? I will say exceeds. Exceed limit. Do you have to compulsory close and give another option? B4 more than C3. Yeah, C3, no. Yeah, somebody says B3 is less than or equal to $C $1 within exits. Okay, fine, that is perfect. You just use the reverse of it. That's good actually. If B3 is less than or equal to C1, then it is within limit and it exits. Yes, Raju, Raghavan, they've all got it right actually. So now I will not give the second parameter and let us see how it works. So I double click, I get a false. How to copy this to the entire range? I know many will know the easier way. One is I can say Control C and Control V. Somebody says you select and say Control D, which means the Control D will copy the top formula actually. Perfect. So two things we have got. Any other thing manually, and the easier way to do things. Sir, lock C1 cell. Yes, I purposely not locked first to show how the error comes and then correct it actually. So Amit, you are right that I have to lock C1 cell, which I have not locked using the dollar. I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that. Now for me to copy this to the other cell, I want the answer. Okay, maybe it will be difficult to type, so I'll just cover it. In the particular cell, if you come to the right bottom end, yes, somebody has given the answer, drag bottom right corner. This white color plus symbol will become small black color plus symbol. Somebody says drag it. I don't have to drag it. I just have to double click. Friends, you don't have to drag at all. Till your data is not containing any breaks, you just select the data, come to the right end, double click, it will give the answer. So now instead of false, okay, we'll do one thing. We'll change the retention limit to 10 lakhs so that there is some data I will get as exceeding on this thing. Or let it be there because we have not put the formula. Okay. Now I'll put the second formula as 0. So wherever it exceeds limits, it will say exit limit. Wherever it is not there, it will say 0. Now if you have made one observation, few things are coming in left and few things are coming on the right. Yes, I will be freezing C1, Darshit. I'm just trying to first explain the other concepts and then do that. So now the exits limit is on the left and the 0 is on the right. What does that indicate? Excel reveals a lot of things in how it displays it to you. Number on right, numbers on right and text on left. Perfect. That one. Perfect. So what happens? All the things which are on the left are text and one which is on the right is numbers, or where you can do analysis with that. Now whenever you are giving a formula like this, for one we have used text, for second we have used numbers. I purposely did that, which I'm telling you not to do that. If at all you're using formula as one as text for the successful thing, even if it is negative, it should also give only a text. Simple reason being, when you're doing pivot, you land up in trouble actually. So I will say here within limit, close. Now if I drag, it has come, but if you will see what happens, because I didn't lock my C12, it has started taking some other data which I have to lock it so that my result is in line with what I want actually. So how to lock this C1? One is I can manually type $C $1. Any other way out? F4. Perfect. So what happens if you keep the cursor here and click F4, it will toggle. It will toggle to $C $1, $C1, C1 and $C $1. All the four have got different meanings. $C $1 has got a different meaning. C $1 has got a different meaning. $C1 has got a different meaning. C1 has got a different meaning. So here for our example purposes, we need to log this 20 lakhs completely. So I will say $C $1 and say enter. Now I'll double click. So my result is changed and I've got the perfect result as to how many days it has exceeded the limit. Now we will try to prepare a small summary as to how many days it was within limit, how many days it exceeded the limit. So now somebody come, which function we need to use to arrive at within limit and exceed limit. Some guess which function will help us to get the total count of within limits. Perfect. Pivot you can do. See, pivot, yes, it will be required, but for small things you don't have to do that. A formula will be easier thing. It is like, you know, going to a doctor for a small headache. You don't have to do that. But yes, pivot will definitely solve the problem actually. So count if, perfect. So we'll use count if quickly. If anybody is not understood, I'll explain it again. So count if open bracket, I have to select the range. I select the range, shift control down arrow. Shift control down arrow. I've selected the entire range. I have to lock it so that it doesn't change. F4, comma. What is the criteria? Within double quotes, within limit, close quotes, close bracket. Don't forget to close the bracket. I got 83 days. It is within limit. Instead of typing within limit, what I can do is I can select the cell E6. That will also give me the same result. Perfect. So we'll do the same thing for the other one also. Count if, open bracket, select the range, lock it, comma, E6, close bracket. I will not get the result. Now somebody tell me what is the mistake I have did. I have purposely created an error. You will have to tell me what is the mistake I have did. A small mistake I have committed because I was little careless. Can you tell me where I was careless? So the answer is last word of careless, S. Here I have said exits limit. Here I have said exit limit. You have to be very careful. If you give something wrong, garbage in, garbage out. Excel will throw absurd results. So here I will change this to exits limit, which will match. I can check whether my total is tallying. Perfect. Okay, somebody did give an answer. I don't know if it was before I told or afterwards. Perfect, perfect. Vignesh has given, Ankit has given, perfect. So the spelling you have to be, it has to match perfectly for you to get the result. Now here, instead of selecting this entire range, you can name that range, which will be easy for you to make further analysis. What I will do is I will select this B3, shift control down arrow. My entire range is getting selected. I will say CASH, cash. This is my total cash and say enter. Okay, there is already a cash in the previous sheet. So we will name it as cash 1 and say enter. Now this range is changed to cash 1. I will select this. Maybe I'll give a heading analysis. Shift control down arrow. Okay, you can definitely work using tables also, which is very, very user friendly and next level to do things actually. Somebody says in MS365 you can use unique function for E6 and E7. In fact, for MS365 there is good news. There is another easier way of doing things. I'll tell you. So now I should create a name box for this. Let me call it analysis 1. So now what I could have done here is, instead of typing the selecting the range, I can say here equal to count if, open bracket, my range is analysis 1, comma, this one, close bracket. I got the same result. Same thing, count if, analysis 1, sorry, comma, this is my search thing. I got the same result using the name box also. Where you require some things very frequently, ensure that you create a name box and then you start working on that. So now we will try to see when the branch had the minimum cash balance, maximum cash balance, and maybe average. So now the formula which I need to give is how to create name box. Okay, I'll repeat again. See, you select the range which you want. In for cash, I've selected B3, shift control down arrow up to B367. On the left side, you can see one small box just below the clipboard. Here you type whatever name you want. Shivani, hope you have got this right. And then don't forget to press enter. If you just type and leave it, it will not work actually. And you can give whatever name you want, but there cannot be a duplicate name box because Excel you'll have to give a unique name actually. Same thing you have to do it for analysis also. Okay. So now I need to find the minimum cash which the bank held equal to MIN open bracket. Here I can straight away select the range cash 1 and then close. So the minimum cash balance is 2,28,968. And what is the maximum? If there are multiple entries, the result is that when you do a VLOOKUP, it only gives the first item. For maximum, it is max open bracket cash 1. I close. I've got the maximum cash balance and I'll do average also. Average. My life is easier because I don't have to go every time select the range and miss out and be afraid that whether I'll miss out or not something. So average cash 1 close bracket. Now I want to know which particular day this minimum cash balance was there. Here in this cell, these two cells, I want the dates. So here you have to use VLOOKUP. Once again, can you explain how you selected the whole column as cash 1, please, sir? Okay. See, first I have to give the name. I will select this entire range B3 to B7. And then on the left hand side, here I've given cash 1. For our example purpose, I will change it. I will say ABC and say enter. Now instead of cash, I have given ABC. So now what I will do is I will say equal to minimum open bracket ABC. You will see that a small thing appearing. I have to select that and then close the bracket. If you are not getting a name box, you can actually give the entire row also like this, equal to minimum open bracket B3 to B367 close. That will also give the same result. So Darshit and Dara, hope you are clear with what I did. Name range is nothing but you select the range which you want, and on the just above this your cells there is one small column where you can actually type things manually. That name will be reserved for you, which you can use it wherever you want actually. Yes, fine. So now we'll do VLOOKUP to know when this minimum cash balance was there. So equal to VLOOKUP open bracket. I'll have to select the lookup value which is F10, comma. Second, I'll have to select the table. I will select the table, shift control down arrow. comma. I'll give F4 to lock the cells, comma, is asking column index number. Which of the output he wants? I want got column 1 as date, column 2 as balance, and column 3 is analysis. I want the result of the date which is in the column on the left side. So what do I do now? I cannot give -1 because generally what happens is we give 1, 2 or 3. Yes. Somebody says, Raju says it will not work. Yes, it will not work. So how to make it work? No, 2 will not work because 2 will give some other result. I'll just show you. So 2 will straight away give an error. Now suppose I want the analysis exceeding limits or within limits. VLOOKUP won't work. No, fine, VLOOKUP won't work. Fine, now how to make it work? I want the answer. Use XLOOKUP. Okay, XLOOKUP is for people who are using MS365 only, which I will cover immediately. So I will say equal to XLOOKUP, which is very, very simple, but I think it is available only in the MS365 version. XLOOKUP is asking for the lookup value. I have selected, comma, lookup array, where I should look for this 2,28,000. I will tell the system that you please look up in the B column, comma. It is asking me return array. I want the return from the A column. I select it and close the bracket. I actually got the date. I will have to go to this sheet, I mean on the ribbon, select the date, or use Control+1, go to format cells and select the date whichever format I'm comfortable. I always request and believe that you must always use this DD, MMM and YY format so that even if there is a problem with the data, it will be easy for you to know actually. So XLOOKUP made my life easier. I got the result. For people who don't have this MS365 and still they want to do, somebody says rightly need to shift that cell if you want to use VLOOKUP. Perfect. So what you can do is select the date range, Control+C, in between say insert copied cells. I've got the date. Now I will try to do this, achieve the same result using VLOOKUP, equal to VLOOKUP, open bracket, select the entire table, shift control down arrow, give F4, comma. Now which is the column number I should say? Since I've selected the entire column, 1, 2, 3, 4, I want the date which is in third column. I've given 3, 0. I will be getting an error. You will have to tell me what is the problem. I gave VLOOKUP. I selected. Oh my God, my lookup value was not there. Sorry, my lookup value I missed. This is my lookup value, comma. Still I'm getting an error. Lookup value is missing. Sir, taken care, sir. But there is one more mistake I've committed, which is the general mistake which we all commit when we do VLOOKUP and then blame that Excel is formula is wrong. No, formula is right. Formula is right. Column number is S2. You want me to make it to 2? Yes, I'll change it to 2 and see if it works. No, still it is not working. Start from balance. Yes, Puneet has got it right. 1 instead of 0. No, that is, those are not the problem which is an issue. No, column index is right. I'll tell you where I've committed the mistake. I said I have to look up the value G10 and I've selected the range from A to D. Now, what does the column A contains? Actually date. Now this 2,28,968, the system is going to check in the date column, which is not what I want. Where it should check from B column. So what I will do is I will change from A to B. Now let me tell you for B where it starts, which is the return value I want. I want C, which is the second column. Luckily I have typed it correctly. If you have got it something else, change it to 2 and then you say comma 0. I have got the answer. I will use format painter to copy the date. Perfect. Muttu Karpan says Excel will consider the leftmost column. See, whatever your lookup value is there in the table which you select, it should be the first column. So that is where X lookup comes very handy, where you did things very simple way, not to worry about the column index numbers. So my suggestion to everybody will be to please go for MS365. It doesn't cost much. It just costs 6,000 rupees for 6 connections. Your office can have 6 MS365 connections with that actually. And with that, they give 1 TB of hard disk space also. So now we will copy this for maximum also. Using VLOOKUP, I've got it. And here also I've got it. So both using XLOOKUP and VLOOKUP, I've got the same result. If you are having MS365, you can use VLOOKUP. Now, having said that, I tell you the power of MS365. Here, when we type this analysis, we gave the formula, and we had to drag it, or they use a formula which only worked for one cell, and then we copied it. Now, the power of MS365, I'll say equal to, if open bracket, I will select the entire date, or what is the name box we have given? Cached one. Cached one is more than, I've selected the entire range. I have not selected one particular cell now. Instead of even telling 20 lakhs, I'll straight away type 20 lakhs or select the cell, whatever way I'm comfortable. Comma, within double quotes, if it is more, if my cash is more than 20 lakhs, it should say exceeds limit, close, comma, I should say within limit, close the bracket, and see the fun now. All my data has got filled automatically. I didn't even go to the other cells actually. So anybody who's got MS365 can try it and let me know, because instead of typing it, you will see that the results come at one go actually. How many of you are having MS365? Just for the count, can somebody put it in the question box that you have got MS365? Okay, one. How you name cached one? Okay, I'll tell you. We can use index and match function. Yes, that will also work. See, this naming cache box, I mean this naming of the name box, you select the range which you want. Say date, I'll select shift control down arrow, and then you can see this small rectangle box on the left actually, just below the ribbon above your tables actually. Here you can give the name whatever you want, X, Y, Z, and say enter. This whatever cache one, cache or ABC, whatever we have given is the name what we have given actually. How to open different worksheets are like you do directly retention to MRL and variance. How to go directly? See, on the bottom there are two buttons, two arrow buttons. You right click, it will give you all the sheet names actually. Okay, somebody says shortcut is Alt I and D. Perfect. So now we'll proceed with it. And of course, very crude way of doing, I'll tell you. You can use conditional formatting, select the range, and then say highlight cell rules greater than 20 lakhs or filter above 20 lakhs also. Those are all permanent way, I mean temporary way of doing things. And then you can say color filter and then shift control down arrow. On the bottom you can see the result also. Of course, you all will be knowing it, I assume. For those who just don't know, you can see that this 282 days is coming on the bottom here actually. So there is no one way to do things, but where I want to record things, it is better I use the functions actually. Somebody is asking, do you know any way to sort all the sheets? No, if your data is in the same column in all the sheets, then it might be possible, but otherwise it is not possible actually. See, like you can select multiple sheets, and then in the B, whatever data analysis you do, it will get done in all sheets also. So that is the way you can do it, Amit. Okay, fine. We'll proceed with the next thing. After retention, we have given the small summary of the fixed asset verification. In fact, one of the banks which we did the audit, they insisted on verifying only more than 50,000 rupees items. It may change from bank to bank. You can please change it yourself. If you have come across any leakages, you can note down that in your summary. And there is a question in LFAR that wherever there is a difference in variance, I mean, there is a variance in the deposits, you have to explain, get an explanation from the management. Somebody says, please repeat. Which one you want me to repeat, Deepak? Okay, I'll complete this and come back on what you want. See, now this is a data which we have on 31st March. Then you have data on 7th April. Now you know that how many changes happened from the year end to the date you are doing the audit actually. So in this case, if you see, there was a 22% variation in one of the particular deposits, for which we got an explanation from the management and reported it appropriately. So ensure that you also have to do this analysis and not give a generalized comment actually. Generally things will be fine. And here if you see in one more item, the percentage is 93.5%, where the overdue deposits have come down drastically. You should go inside and see what is the reason for the overdue deposits to come down drastically. Okay, somebody want me to repeat that red color wala thing. Okay, that is a conditional formatting. I'll go back to the retention sheet. I'll remove the conditional formatting first. See, you select the range which you want. I will select the entire B range and then go to conditional formatting and tell highlight cell rules, the first item greater than, and here you type 20 lakhs, 20 lakhs, and it says light red fill with dark red. It need not be the same. I can go to custom format and change it to some other fill, also say yellow, and say okay, and say okay. Now what I will do, I'll go to the filter which is already on and say number filter, sorry, filter by color, yellow. So this yellow shade from the data to the end, I'll be able to tell that there are 282 days and the cash has got exceeded actually. This crude way of doing it and writing, making note of it, but the record won't be available afterwards. So I think Deepak, that clarifies your question. I'll proceed. So like we did for the variance in deposits, we can do for the variance in income also. You can type it manually because there are only 5 items, but if generally I get the Excel file, the balance sheet file in PDF format or in the format, and then somebody says audio is muted. No. So you can reconnect if you are having audio issues. I think everybody is getting the audio right actually. So here in the variance analysis, I have compared the data between 31st March 2022 vis-a-vis 2021, and then given a small formula to tell how is the variance. If the variance is small and ignorable and matching with the interest rates increase or decrease, no issues. But if you feel there is a variance, you can actually drill down further and ask the management why there has been a huge variance in the expenditures or the income. So both analysis we have did, expenditure as well as the income part actually. Thanks for confirming somebody's audio is very clear. Now, there is one more question in LFAR where they want us to tell that the rate which is being put in the bank for SB accounts or the rates are right or not. Now, for this, for you to have an audit evidence, kindly pick one SB account and one FD account in random and just check whether manually whether that interest rate which is being fed is right or not actually. So here if you see, we took one account, put in the dates. I mean, this is the summary of the account which we got, we had keyed in manually. And here we did the small analysis to find that whether the rate of interest, I mean the interest amount which is being coming is right or not. Now you can always tell, sir, it is CBS, it is computer. Why should we actually worry, check it? See, computers are computers, I always tell. Somewhere if some things have got keyed in wrongly, it might not create just for the branch, but for the entire system. So as a matter of professional skepticism, kindly ensure that you check one account manually to be satisfied that whatever other accounts you're relaying are kind of correct or not actually. Same thing we did for FD accounts. In fact, unfortunately, my assistant took a account which had a lot of transactions, which had some transfer to SB also. If it was not there, it would have been easy. And if you see that there were 3 interest rates change which has happened, and then we were able to find that this is actually matching with our calculation. So you please ensure that you do the verification of one FD account and one SB account interest to place your reliance. Variance, how to put down arrow, you can use conditional formatting and play with it. I will tell you how to do it. Go to conditional formatting. There are icon sets available here. And I use one formula sign of E4 so that I get the signs actually. So the Excel sheet itself will help you to explore the symbols actually. Okay. So this is sample verification. Is apart from that, what are the watch accounts we have verified? What are the inoperative accounts we have verified? Everything record it, and you make an observation whether you did randomly or there was any basis on which you verified actually. And then there is one sheet pending. This we do it on day-to-day basis. Like if I've asked something from the bank, say I want the list of inoperative accounts, I'll just make a note of it so that tomorrow it is easy for me to know exactly what is pending from the bank. Okay, one of the partners is taking care of large advances. I will say large advances. So that's the area he has to look into it. Some partner is taking care of LFAR. I will say LFAR. Or one of the assistant is taking care of physical cash. I will say physical cash. Once it is over, I can remove it, or I can tell that it is over. I can divide it into 2 parts and then bring this here, that it is over, whichever way you want actually. This small control mechanism for you to know what is it you are reviewing, what is the status and how it has got ended. Or you can do alternatively, which I do it is, there is an option known as control 5. If you click control 5, you get struck off, which means it is over. So once the task is over, you can give control 5, or you feel no, it is not over, I accidentally clicked it, give control 5 again, it will undo the action. The shortcut for striking off. And the best way to learn shortcut is first see the item which you do very repeatedly, then you see what the shortcut is. In fact, this, not this Excel sheet, there's one more 02 Excel sheet which contains the shortcut also. Friends, shall I proceed? Can I get 1 or 2 answers? Yes, thanks Darshit. So MR, which I've already covered, you start capturing things then and there so that you don't miss out when you're finalizing the audit. And then for LFAR this time, they say that, not this time, the last time onwards, the LFAR has got changed. Where they said they have changed the definition of the large advances. Now, for you to know what the large advances which you should be looking into, you can determine using the formula that you take the total number of loans outstanding The ODCC generally will not have the same file. There will be a separate report, which also you get it from the branch. Then there might be non-fund based exposure, which you also get it in a separate file. Now I will do a check as to which is the basis for me to verify the accounts. So I will say sum up. I've got the total sum. Now I will give the min function to find which is a yardstick for me to array which accounts are large advances or not. Minimum of what is it? 10% of the aggregate of the fund based and non-fund based advances. So minimum of 10% into this one, comma 10 crores. 10 crores. Close the bracket. I'll use comma. Now my yardstick is any loan which has got an outstanding of beyond 8 crore 49 lakhs 89,000. I have to verify. It comes under the large advance category, for which I have to verify the documentation. How to see which accounts have exceeded this limit, I will cover in the next raw data conversion, where I will be converting the loan data actually. So this first will give you the criteria for which you can determine that which accounts will be classified as large advances. Non-fund invoked or agreed should be taken. Yes, they have to be taken. Please explain the formula given in E column in retention sheet 2365. Okay, I'll quickly take you again that formula. Ritesh can copy this formula if you want. People are using MS365. This is the function I've used. It's the same function. Only thing is I've given the range actually, not this one. Equal to if open bracket, sorry, count if open bracket, the range B3 to say B371. I'm not going into the exact thing, just telling you the formula is greater than, sorry, not count if actually, if B3 is to 371 is greater than 20 lakhs, then I have to tell it is excess, exceeds, or say okay. You can see that the entire place it has changed to this okay and exits. I didn't even type the formula in other places. So this is the formula. If open bracket, generally what we do is if function we only give one particular cell. Here I can give the range. The range means it is a dynamic array which will take entire array and look for one item actually, and rest is the simple if function actually. So the MS365, instead of just selecting one, they included the dynamic array also inside your calculation. Okay, fine. Now we will go to the important part of converting a loan summary file, where things may not be easy for you to convert, and still we need to do it to get the information for us to do the audit. So I'll open my folder. There is one raw data file actually. I will copy the data by giving Control A, Control C. I have copied the data. I will come to the, oh my God, so many sheets are not closed. Let me close the unnecessary ones. So I'll do a paste. Now, if you carefully observe, what happens is all this data is only in the A column. All the rows which are there, it is there only in A, and it is all jumbled. All this information is available in one row. Now, how to convert it into a meaningful information? Select the A column, go to data. There's an option known as text to columns. Click that and select fixed width, because I cannot say delimited because I see no one particular tab or comma or space by which I can divide the data. If I do that, it will give me observed results actually. So here I will do it manually by analyzing the data and then clicking now serial number. Sorry, I will give next. Here in this, I'll say serial number, fine. Old account number, fine. New account number, fine. And here they have given customer code and name. And for customer code, I don't know why this report generated .00. So I will cut it here actually, because I don't want this .00, and this slash also I don't want. The choice is mine. I can remove this. If I double click, it will get removed. I can do it this way also by just selecting the slash only, and later remove that 00 using decimal. But I like to do here itself to save time. Now I got the name, then there is opening date, then there is a AOD date, and then the rate of interest, and then the liability. I'm just showing you again. I've taken care to put the lines appropriately to see that there is no jumbling, and wherever there are figures, I've taken the last one so that no data gets missed actually. Wherever possible, I'm not very sure, I've taken the left item of the data also. So I'll say finish. There is already data that we want to replace it. Yes. So I've got the data like this. Before I proceed, I need to casually go through to see whether my slicing which I did is correct or not. You can see here. Can you see here? What has happened? My data has got spilled. It has not taken it correctly because it should have been 11.25 here, which means there are chances that there will be errors somewhere or other. I will have to redo the exercise. Okay. So I will give Control Z, or I will probably delete the entire thing. Go to that notepad sheet again. Control C. Sorry. Control C. Do a Control V. Select the A column. Under Data tab, go to Text to Columns. There is a fixed width. I'll click Next. Now I try to slice it. Serial number, old account number, new account number, first ID, customer name. Date will start from the left only, so I'll give it here. Now here rate of interest, I just assume I knew that there are places where these two of the particular rows were extra actually. So what I will do, instead of putting it very tight, I will put it here, and then the liability. So I'll say next and say finish. Do you want to replace it? Yes. So now let me just see if is there any spilling to the next cell. So perfect. I have got the data. Sir, if we did not select the width and directly press the finish, then also we will get the result. Okay, fine. Yes, that is very much possible. As I told you, there is no one way to do things. There are multiple ways where you can get your result. Okay, now we'll sanitize this data so that we'll be able to do the analysis. Okay, how to do that? I will first, what I'll do is I'll remove the ones on the top so that my header is available. So I'm removing rows 1 to 8 so that my header is available. Now select the entire row. So how to select the entire data? Shift Control End. I've got entire data selected. I just have to apply filter. Filter is applied. I come to the top. What is the formula to come to the top? Can somebody put it across? Control Home, perfect. Control Home. Now, one way of doing is I can analyze which all I may require, I may not require is one way of doing it. But luckily, since I have the serial numbers in this case, which may not be there in all the cases, since it is easier for me, I will just say spot smallest to largest. And before that, this new account number is coming like this. So what I will do is I'll select this 0 and then go to home and tell please convert it to number without any decimal. And this I can remove this dot 00 and slash. This also I don't want. And this old account number also I see, oh, something is there. Okay, we will see what. So now I will just analyze first the loan details and then see what is there behind. I can, yeah. So after this, some particular symbol is there. I will not require that. I started selecting the entire row. I don't want the lines. What is coming next? Okay. I don't want the headings. I don't want the number of accounts. This I'm interested. From the 1900 row, it contains the product name, the number and the product details. So from here, what I will do is I'll right click and say delete. My entire row gets deleted. Let me see what is there after this 15942. These are all the data I don't want. So I say right click, delete. Those are all got deleted. Now this is a summary of the loan which I need, but I'll not require it here. I'll copy this in a separate page. Okay, what has happened is I've deleted one of the cell here by which some of the information has also gone. So before that, I should have been careful. So I'll do a control Z, get those columns back. Control Z, sorry. I don't know why my control Z is behaving differently. Control Z. Control Z. Oh. Anyway, I'll skip that part because something has got missed. That is not going to affect much actually. So I'll copy these items in a separate sheet. Control X. Right click, insert new sheet. Control V. So how to now remove things and take things which I require? I don't want this. So I'll remove this. I don't want this product, this thing. Now there is one E colon which is there for all the things, and there are other things in the nearby cell. But actually there were some data here also which is not come actually. So let me just, for the sake of example, type something so that let's assume that we require this data also. Now how to merge all these things? Let me come to the question box. Somebody says concatenate, perfect. Any other way? Equal to concatenate B1, comma C1, comma D1. Close it. Okay. So by which I will get the result is one way of doing it. Now to see that this data is independent of this, I will give Control C, right click, stop. I can give a paste special values, that is S and V. This will make this data independent. If I delete this, no issues with my original data now. So this I missed actually. Control C, right click, paste special values. Okay. So now this data is independent of this. Somebody says you can use and also, perfect. So instead of using concatenate, I can use this function known as equal to B1 and C1 and D1 and okay, that's only 3 here. So I will get this also same way. See, in the other, like there are only 3 or 4 columns are there. What if there are so many? So there also I get the same result. So for people who are having MS 365, one homework for you is there is one function known as text join. You can do that also. There's one more function which is there. I don't know which of the version this has got. There is one function known as concat. The advantage of concat is I don't have to manually do things. I can just select the range. Concat open bracket B1 is to D1 close bracket. I get the same result actually. So now tell me of the 3 options which was there, which is the best one? Concatenate, ampersand or concat? Can I get some answers? Can somebody confirm, anybody who is using 2019 or 16, whether this concat option is working for you? I'm very sure it works for MS 365. I have not known that whether it works for 2019 and 16 versions. Can some 1 or 2 people confirm that whether this concat function is available? Okay, 2019 it is working. That's good. Okay, 2016. How to use text join? Okay, I'll quickly take you through. equal to text join open bracket. You need to give a delimiter by putting some space, comma or whatever. What you can do is you can give apostrophe and then you can just ignore, leave it as it is also, comma. It says you want to ignore empty cells or include. Here I will say ignore empty cells, comma. Now I have to give the text, which is B1, comma C1, comma D1, close bracket. I'll get the same result. Now here, one advantage is I can add anything in between. I will say 3 star. Oh, it does not come. I don't know why the delimiter is not working, but what happens is whatever you give in the delimiter, that will get added in the cells in between actually. So that's the way to work text join. So working for 2019, not for 16, I assume then. Okay, fine. Now coming back to our example, I'll remove one, copy this to paste special. Control C, right click, paste special values. I will remove this data. Now there is one E colon which is coming, E space colon space. How do I remove that? There are 2 ways of doing it. In fact, more than 2, I will not complicate it by giving function also. You can actually do it that way. How to remove this one common E space colon space? Can I get 1 or 2 answers? Find and replace, perfect. So Control F and replace is one way. Another difficult way is you can use text to columns also. Both are okay. Okay, somebody says trim. I have used that. Can you tell me exactly how trim will work? I have not tried on this. Trim open bracket. No, trim will not work here. No, trim won't work. Left function. Left function, how do you use now? Left open bracket. This will only give you the number of characters in the left, whereas you want on the right, and you don't know how many characters are there on the right. Okay, quickly I'll take you, or should I give you a homework? You can actually use right function and len function. That will give you the result actually. So remove spaces. We'll do the simplest thing now. Control F, select E space colon space and say replace all. I got the result. Now that left cell of 4 will give me that E colon. I don't want E colon. I want this one, what I've got now. Also, you can do it from magic fill. Yes, flash fill will work. It is called flash fill actually. If you type 1, then it will assume and take it for the other things. Now, same thing for here. Instead of typing it and to take chance, I will copy this. Control C, select the data, Control F to it, or here I can do right equal to right open bracket, select the cell, comma 3, because from the right end I want the last 3. Oh, I am getting an error. Equal to right open bracket, select the cell, comma 3. I know some error I got here. So I'll double click. I'm repeating. There are 3 functions, left, right, and mid, which you can use it interchangeably. Here for me, since I want the data of particular 3 things from the right end, I'm using the right function. I will copy it, do a paste special values. So now I know my code, product code and the type. This is the product code and this is the type. Now coming back to our advanced file, loan summary file. Now after sorting, our data is ready actually. I've taken the codes and kept this also ready. Both information is ready. Now I don't know which loan product this all belongs to. I should have taken care because it had the headings which I've removed. But there was a reason I particularly did, because I knew that I'll be able to do it. If you know, the account number is not random, it has a small pattern actually, where the first 4 digits represent the bank's branch number, and the 5th, 6th, and 7th actually represents the product code, and the balance are the account numbers. Now, how to get the account numbers here? Yeah, perfect. Amit has given the answer also of how to use it right and sell to get the result actually. Perfect. Now can somebody tell me how to get the 603 from this cell C2? Text to column. Okay, that is perfect. You can do text to column. Can somebody help me to do with a formula? Mid, perfect. So we'll do the mid function and see how it works. Equal to mid, open bracket. It is telling which text you want. So I want C2, comma, starting number. Starting number is available from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th space. So I'll say 5, comma. How many number of characters I need? 3. So 3, close. For those who are asking to repeat, see, I have to pull 603, which is the product code here, which is available as the 5th, 6th, and 7th character actually. So the formula I've used is equal to mid. I've selected the text and I say, please pick the data from the 5th column, and I need 3 characters from there on actually. So I do that and I do a double click. I've got the product code also. So what I will do, I will select this and say, do a paste, make this data independent, Control C, right click, paste special values, okay. So now what has happened is I've got this data independent of this data now. Now we'll try to do a small pivot to see how I'll be able to get all the information at one go. I'll go to a new sheet. I'll say insert pivot table. It's asking select the table or range. I can do it the reverse way also. I can first select the table range and then go to insert pivot also. Both are okay. So here I've did the other way. So I'll say select the table. I'll go to the loan summary. Select the table. Wait, let me remove first unnecessary columns which I have not did. I will not require K because it contains no data. I will come out of it. I don't require K. I don't require this old account number also. I have removed it. So now I'll go to this. I'll name the sheet as pivot. Insert pivot table. Go to the loan summary. Select the range. Shift control down arrow. All the loan accounts are selected. Okay. I'll say okay. It's throwing me an error. It's telling that it is not valid. I will take you to the loan summary. Can somebody tell me what is the problem in this? That the pivot table is not coming. Heading, perfect. Darshit has got it right. What is the problem in the heading, Darshit? Can you elaborate a little? No heading for type of loan. The moment there are going to be blank headers, the pivot will not work. That is the exact trouble. So I will say code here. Code. So now what I will do, I will go to pivot, select the range again now. Now that I have corrected the error, shift control down arrow. Okay. Okay, now I got the pivot. Now what is it I have to do? I have to just see what are the type of codes which are there for this particular bank. I just click this code. I get the information of the number of type of product codes which are there in this branch. Now what I'm interested in the number of counts. So I'll select the code and put it in values. So I get the count of the loans. Now I want to know the value. I go to the liability and then click here. I've got the sum of liability. So in a matter of minute, okay, I don't know why it has come twice. I'll remove one. Okay. Right click and say remove field. So okay, sorting won't work in pivot. So what I will do is I copy this data here. Right click, paste special values. Now we got the data, the summary. I will say sort from largest to highest. The grand total, I'll remove it. So now I'll say equal to this particular code, whatever amount is there, divided by this, and I'll make this static because my total is going to be the same. And I will go to home and change it to percentage. And have 2 decimals. Now you will see that if I am able to cover this one particular loan item, my 78% of the advance is getting covered, which is code 842. Of course, I can do a VLOOKUP and get the information that what 842 stands for. I'll copy this to save time. You can actually do a VLOOKUP here to get the exact codes. So this 842 category stands for AL agri loans actually. So now there are 100,428 accounts. I cannot verify all the accounts. I need to pick some samples. So what I will do, I need to verify these 1428 accounts and pick samples from the data summary. So I come to the pivot. I click this 1428. I just double click. All my 1428 accounts are ready here. I will do the verification of largest to highest and say pick sample 1, sample maybe 10 samples, and by this is to be done by say Ramesh. So he will take care of this, verifying these samples and these accounts. And what I can also do is I will sort it from newest to oldest. See here some data issue is there where it does not come correctly. This I need to verify the original file as to where the data has gone wrong. So now newest to oldest. So these are the accounts which have got sanctioned lately. So I'll pick some samples here also. Sample 11, sample 12, sample 13. And whether it's done by the same person or some other person. Now this will act as my working papers as well as for me to determine what kind of accounts are verified for me to arrive at an opinion. And here this large advances, if you remember, we saw that 8 crore 49 lakh was the large advances. Let me just see whether any account is there with the large advances. I'll go to the loan summary. I'll say largest to smallest. Now this has got, it's only 1 crore 77 lakh. So there are no large advances technically. So I can select these top 10 items and give my opinion there. Because anyway, I cannot skip everything. I need to pick some loans for my advances and other reporting. I can pick these 10 items maybe, and then give my opinion. So likewise, given the list of NPA accounts with the dates, you can find whether there is quick mortality. Quick mortality is whether any accounts have become NPA during the same year the loan has been given. So one I can type for, 1st April 21 is my cutoff. So I will say equal to if open bracket my NPA date is more than my financial year starting date, then this is quick mortality because it has immediately become bad, or this, otherwise I'll say it's okay. Or instead of telling okay and to not the report look shabby, I will just give double quotes and close it. So where there is no problem, it will not give me nothing. So now there are only 2 accounts where there is a problem because these 2 accounts have become NPA within the same year it has been issued actually. So this is only a concept telling that for each points in LFAR, you can actually use the relevant data to arrive at your conclusion and give your annexes or reporting appropriately. Of course, there are some more things which I wanted to cover. I think we have run out of time. Let me just go to the other sheet, and there is 1 or 2 important things I would like to cover. Shall I do that? Take 5 more minutes of yours. Can I get some reverts?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, 1 yes. Yes, fine. See, the second sheet which I have given contains a lot of functions which I wanted to cover. Of course, few I've covered in my other sheet itself, but there are other examples which you can work on yourself actually. Now, there's one more function which I wanted to cover is, there is one function known as date difference. See, here I'll type today's date. I can type manually also 27th March 21. Sorry, today is 27 March 22, or I can use the function today open bracket close bracket, which will also give me today's date. Now this is static, which will never change. This is dynamic. If I open my system tomorrow, it will throw me 28. So you should be very careful where to use static date, where to use dynamic date. For interest calculations, please use only static date, unless you want that date to change every day actually. So here what I will say date difference open bracket. The date difference function is DATE-DIF, that's all. Open bracket. This will not give you syntax because it is still under beta stage. So begin date, comma, close date, comma, I just want the difference in years. Within double quotes, I will say Y. Close. So 74 years. I will select the data. Instead of Y, I will change it to M. I will get the answer in months. If I change it to D, I will get it in days. Now, if I put YD, what it will do is it will ignore the years and only tell me the difference between the dates actually. And then if I give YM, it will give the difference between the months as if they were in the same year. And same thing for month days. If I give MD, it will tell me the month days, which means it is going to give me the difference between 2 days as if they were in the same month. So likewise, I'm able to get the information at one go, telling that India is 74 years, 7 months and 12 days old. So this one function may come handy where you want to calculate the interest, not just in days, but in actually years and months also. This is a small tool which you can use to get the alternate row shader. It might come handy where you actually want printouts with shades. So I'll select this small range. In fact, before I do that, certain formulas we don't have to get into it, but you know that how it works. So I'll select this formula, select the data, and go to conditional formatting. There is one option known as new rule. In that, you pick the last item, use a formula to determine which cells to format. And here you give equal to that formula which I have copied. And then in the format, you say light gray shade and say OK. What happens is all the alternate rows are shaded. One good thing about this is dynamic. I insert 4 rows in between, that will also get shaded. So this may come very handy, which is shared in this Excel file. Wherever you feel it, you require it, you can use it. Your reporting becomes a little bit nice and not clumsy. Left, right, mid we have covered. Yeah, fill in the gaps. Many times you'll get reports something like this. Now, how to fill these gaps? Anybody else did this? Or they have come across something and they were able to find the solution? How to fill these gaps? Okay, go to perfect. So I'll select the data and say Control G for go to. Select 3 cells below and merge cells. No, that will not work. Avanti, it will not work. If I select the 3 cells, okay, I'm getting what you're trying to tell. You merge this, but then tomorrow if I want to separately do analysis, I'll not be able to do it. Merge cells, you will not be able to do the analysis. Use blanks, okay, and then select blanks, down arrow. No, I will try that. Control G, special, go to blanks and say okay. Now it has selected some shade. Right up, down, everything goes. Now there are 2 possibilities. One, I want to say that no salesman for that other data where it is blank is one. Second, I want to repeat the above names, which is the logical one. Repeat above names in blank cell. Control E. No, sir, it doesn't work. Control E. You can try and let me know if it works. It will be news to me actually. Okay, fine. We'll do it. It's a nice way of getting the answer done by just twisting a little bit of things. So I'll select the range, go for Control G, which somebody rightly said, go to special, select blanks and say okay, and I will say no salesman, and don't type enter, type Control enter. Perfect, somebody's got that. Amit has told, please type Control enter. So by that you will be able to get new data. Now how to get the items, the name which is on the top? I'll give Control Z. I'll select Control G, go to paste special, select blank, say OK. Now what I will do is I'll type the formula equal to where this Bahubali is there because only that is got selected. it is in E3. So equal to E3, and I will say control enter. Now you will see wherever Bahubali was there, it has got copied with Bahubali. Wherever Devasena was there, that name has got copied. So depending on the need, you can actually do it. No other thing will work. If at all it is working, do share me the details through WhatsApp or the email. I'll be happy to learn something new actually. After filtering blanks, we can refer. No, sir, after filtering, no, you cannot do it through filtering. I will show you. You cannot do it through filtering. I've given filtering. Now I've selected blanks. Okay. Now what is the formula you will give? Somebody said that after we refer equal to the above row. Let me just see if it works. Equal to my above row will be E3. Only that will come if I copy. What happens? Yes, it works. It works. I think Deepak or Amit, whoever has told, that works. What I did was, I did a filtering, copied that, and then in the other places I copied, I got it. Yes, it works. So something which I was not knowing, that through filtering also you can do the same thing. Okay, somebody wants me to repeat this, I'll repeat. This is the data you have. You select the range, give Control G. It will give you a go-to box with a special on the left end. Click that, select blanks, say OK, and say equal to E3. Yes, E3, and give Control Enter. This will give you all the information actually. So pivot we have covered, security I'm not covering it today because, in fact, I've given a small formula for you to verify the PAN. It will not know whether it is a duplicate PAN or fake PAN, I mean original PAN or fake PAN, but with that alphanumeric, it will be able to tell if it is a wrong PAN number actually. In fact, there are newer age tools, unique sort filter sequence in MS365. Probably not much of record in bank audit, but please learn this and keep it handy. You never know when it will be useful for you in the bank audit actually. One more thing which I wanted to cover is, you can actually embed PDF files into Excel itself. Did anybody have worked by embedding a PDF file into Excel? I don't know from which version it works. Go to where is it? Insert. In the insert, there is an option known as text. In that, there is a last item known as object. You click that, and you can select the PDF, or you can even select some other Excel file or Word file, whatever you want. And here there is an option known as display as icon. You click that and select that file. You will have one file embedded here actually. Somebody is reminding me of the time. Yes, I am conscious of it. I just wanted to give the smaller tips so that you can do it yourself. These files are available with you. Any small things you have, you can feel free to WhatsApp. And also given one sheet where other areas where you can definitely use technology to get things done. Only one thing I would like to touch here is, you will get these monthly SMA accounts. Don't just rely on the last SMA accounts. Take 3-4 months SMA accounts and do a VLOOKUP to see which accounts have got slipped out of it in the beginning. There you can see whether genuinely these accounts have got repaid properly, or there's any restructuring done, and whether that is proper. So with these small techniques, you will be able to complete the bank audit, and if required, issue MOC, or if things are clean, we don't have to forcibly give any MOC to tell that we have did the audit actually. So friends, thank you so much for your time. I overshot by half an hour. So thank you for the patient listening also, for that additional time especially.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful deliberation.
despite of your busy schedule, you have given your time and you have explained the entire thing is very, very
Viraj, you are
smooth
not
way.
audible. Viraj, you are not audible.
Let me check, sir.
Am I only not getting Viraj's voice or everybody? My phone number is available in the Excel file. The Excel file first page contains my mobile number and email ID. Feel free to share your thoughts, and if there are any queries, I will not be able to do it immediately, but definitely I'll answer your things. I think, should I give you the rights, Viraj?
Sir, I have, sir. 1 second, sir. I'm trying, sir.
Okay, he's audible. Okay, so I think you are not audible to me only then.
Okay. I'm audible then. Thank you so much, sir. 1 second. I'm trying from another device as well.
Viraj, can you just speak?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, I am
audible, audible.
audible, sir. Audible? Okay. So thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session, sir. Uh, uh, Despite of your busy schedule, you have given your time, sir, and you converted this entire webinar in a workshop, kind of live workshop. People have so much enjoyed this, sir. Over the go to webinar, there are so many attendees, more than 300, and after that we have a live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter as well. So people have watched and taken the benefit of there as well. And the best part is your Excel sheet, sir, and the material you shared with all in a one single link. So that will be very helpful, I can say, in the performance of the bank audit for this year. So we are very thankful to you, sir. Thank you so much for all your efforts, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all the
Thank you.
attendees for the joining a wonderful session, and you are making a very interactive session by asking your question and commenting. And there are so many comments I can read, sir. When you can read, sir, that enjoy quality learning. Thank you. Thanks a lot. You have explained the requirements very well, although we would like to hear more and detail from you, sir.
We'll have some
And,
session later after bank audit so that we'll cover those nitty-gritties actually.
sure. Thank you, sir. So we'll plan in a soon, maybe in a first week of April, or as per the
After the bank
convenience
audit,
of
after the
sir.
bank audit, we'll complete the bank
Yeah.
audit, we'll do it. Answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank you, sir. With this, we are concluding our today's session. Thank you once again, sir. Thank you, sir. And thank you all the attendees for joining. Thank you.